Hey guys, what's up? I know it's been a super long time since I've come on here and talked to you guys. I know we've been kind of running around a lot, the holidays and everything like that, and then I haven't gotten a chance to actually where I could film like during the day and stuff. It'd be kind of hard to see me in the back of the cab. It'd just be moving mouth. But I wanted to jump on here and just talk to some of my girls that are thinking about doing trucking. If there's some fears and stuff about going into this line of work, about it being too dangerous, or you don't think that you could be away from your kids for that long, stuff like that. I really encourage you, especially if you're in a difficult situation. I was where I was picking and choosing which of my bills to pay, and I couldn't really give my son what he really wanted or needed, because I picked and choose which, if I could do the light bill or if I could do the water bill, or between that and food. Now, he never went without because me and his dad make sure that he is taken care of, but personally as a mother, it was really difficult sitting back and not being able to provide for him the way I wanted to. So I definitely, if you're in that situation, I definitely encourage you to do this if there's no other routes, because I could totally go back home, be home every night, but work my ass off running two jobs, working as a waitress or whatever the case may be, and not make nearly the amount of money that I'd make, and then be dead tired if I was home and not really get to really enjoy my son or him enjoy me, vice versa. So I wanted to really encourage some of you that were thinking about doing this, that to put your mind at ease about the fear of being out here, because it's really not that bad. You'll see a lot of guys will actually take care of you out here. Now, I'm not saying don't be mindful of your surroundings, don't be super trusting of people, be, normally cautious like you would out and about. But it's not like you hear about on documentaries or shows and stuff like that, where in all like the news feeds, because yes, people die, people hurt one another, but that's generally in the regular population. That's not just trucking or females in trucking. I've been doing this for 3.5 years now, and I haven't really come into contact with anything crazy like that. I had a couple of small instances where some people wouldn't get the catch, or I had to be super stern with, like, you need to leave me alone or whatever. But as long as you voice that and they can tell that you have, some, I guess, that you can't be pushed to do anything, or be friendly or whatever the case may be. The moment, and this is a guy's world, you got to come out here, and if you don't like something, you voice it immediately. It's no, let's be nice and stuff like that. But you'll find a lot of guys, they really do take care of you. They take care of me out here. If I have trouble, especially as a flatbedder, there's not a lot of females that do flatbed. So when some of these guys see that, they're like, man, I'm super proud that there's another female out here, and that's super cool. And sometimes it'll be raining and I need to tarp, and they'll come out and help me, or a lot of them will help me strap, or like when I did dry van, they would help me back into a spot even if I didn't need it, but they were nice. And that's, don't go into it like, oh, well, I'm a female, they don't need to help, because then you kind of give a guy, guys a bad taste in their mouth. Like, I was just trying to help, just like I would try to help somebody. I don't allow anybody to take something from me. Like, I use a bar to ratchet down on my straps and stuff to get them really tight. And I had a guy come up to me and just rip it out of my hand. And I was like, that's not going to work. I know I appreciate you helping and stuff. But, as far as like taking it from me, that's a no-go. But you just you gotta voice your opinion. You gotta be sturdy in what you believe. But being out here really isn't bad. I would, if you ever feel unsafe, especially in a truck stop, That's the biggest thing, is like, so I normally go to like major truck stops around here because they're well lit, there's a lot of people, and generally the spaces are very big, you know, like Love's or TA, stuff like that. Excuse me. So I do kind of stay in there. I get in pretty early, but that's just my general route. You know, if I have to go out in the dark, because I start super early in the morning, when I do my pre-trip, when I do my post-trip, if it's in the middle of the night and I do not feel safe doing it on the sides of my trucks or next to another truck, and then I'm not visible to other people or people can't hear me, then I will pull up to a fuel line. And I know a lot of people, you be mindful. I mean, don't just block the whole thing, and, you know, especially if somebody's in the, you know, trying to get fuel and get on the road, you know, move out the way. Generally, I get up super early, so I go all the way to the very last pump, and I park all the way to the front, and I do a pre-trip there if I do not feel safe. If it's way too dark, if there's not a lot of light, that just makes me feel safe in general. I've never been in anybody's way, and nobody's ever complained to me, but that's just a rule that I go by. If I stop at late at night, I will, you know, and it's not a super well lit area, kind of like a Love's like I am right now, and it's like a dirt lot and stuff like that, and it's a little creepy. You know, I'll try to make sure that I walk in the center of kind of like this. I'll show you. And I can't turn it around. That's cool. Anyways, but it's kind of like this. Out there, I'll walk kind of where that guy is up there. I will walk in the center, generally where everybody can just see me. You know, if somebody were to grab me up, or, you know, I got attacked. But that's just general. Sometimes if I feel really unsafe, I walk with my keys in between my fingers and stuff, like, just in case. I always look behind me before I get in my truck. You know, just be aware of your surroundings. Have I ever come in contact with anything like that? No. You know, guys will look, whatever. But for the most part, they have daughters back at home. They have wives back at home that want them safe. So they kind of treat you the same way. You know, so it's really not about if you're going to be in a lot of danger or not. Honestly, you're going to be in more danger driving this truck than you are out here with all these guys. I promise you, there's more danger on the road than there anything else. You're driving a really large, heavy truck, and there's a lot of idiots on the road that don't acknowledge that you're there. You know, as far as the truck and stuff, they're like, oh, I could never, because that's how I felt. I was like, there's no way I could actually learn to drive this big ass thing with a trailer. I'm like, how I used to drive, like, I could barely back up like a regular trailer or a truck. I was horrible at it. But I really put my mind to it, and I was like, I really want better for my child. You know, what are my limits? And there wasn't any. You know, I was like, I'm just gonna learn it. And that's all it takes, is just you have to believe in yourself in order to do this. And it's difficult, and it's tiring, and it's great. It's amazing out here. You learn so much, and you see new people, and you see new things, and I learn something different every day. Is this job testing? Of course it is. It will have me up to here, you know, but I have learned so much, and I've grown so much as an individual. And the biggest part of this was to be able to provide for my son. And I went from picking and choosing, you know, if I could keep my lights on or not, or feeding my kid, to we just bought a house. This was before I met my boyfriend, but I had got a house. It was a 3-bedroom house, and me and my son lived in it. You know, I just purchased a brand new 2018 car, just because, you know, I save well and stuff like that. But I went from that to this because I work really hard, and this industry, it can bring you to those resources if you're willing to really put the time in, you know, and stuff. Don't let being a female scare you away from driving. There's a lot of females out here. It's becoming more heavily, where there's a lot of women out here now, and it's really cool. I love seeing girls out here and guys, but it's if you don't allow it to be where it's not like a brother and sisterhood and stuff, and you treat your fellow drivers as people who are out here with you, it's a lot nicer. You see a lot of older guys that are out here that have been doing this a really long time, and they've told me several times it's really refreshing to have somebody that's doesn't take up the fuel line, that's courteous of other drivers, and I'll go over some things to be courteous on the road and stuff like that. I hate being in the way of the people, and that's the biggest thing, is just being mindful out here, and don't kill yourself and don't kill anybody else, but it's not, it's hard, but it's not incapable of you being able to grasp just because you're a girl. If you really want to change your life, if you're tired of working your dead-end job, your waitress job, where you just get cussed out and you got to constantly deal with all these people for nothing, do this. I have a boss, yes. I have dispatchers that I talk to every day, but it's never a boss that's down your throat that constantly nitpicks at what you do. You are your own boss out here. You can pick and choose when you get up, when you move. It all depends on what, the kind of money that you want to make. But that's the coolest part about this. And then seeing the world, it's life-changing. It really is. But it's a lot of fun. If y'all ever have any questions, I'll make a video about little things that I do as a female, because yes, I'll try my best to hang with the guys. I will do my job by myself, but there's tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to make this job a little bit easier for me, especially as a flatbedder. Sometimes I'm 5'5". I can't reach some of those loads to charge them. It is super difficult to do, and I've learned things here and there that make it a little bit easier for me on my body, because you have to take care of yourself out here. I cannot stress that enough, because then you're gonna look like like leathery skin, and you can, and you'd be 35. I'm 28 now, so if y'all ever have any questions, ask me. I mean, I'm still very new at this. I just kind of wanted to put more out there about this that I hadn't seen in the very beginning when I looked at videos about this stuff. I'll be more than happy to answer anything, and if I don't know, I will find out. I'll learn with you, but don't let it scare you, because there's crazy ass drivers on the road are way scarier than anything out here, I promise. But I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys for a little while. I promise next time it won't be so far between. But I'm super excited for anybody that's getting into this, that's thinking about it. I'm always here for you guys, whatever y'all need. And I'll see y'all soon.